Hi folks, same old view, and it's about, what is that, 1:40. It is June 10th, Tuesday, 21.5 degrees, 71 degrees. So, Wally, your package is on the way. I mailed it at the post office, and the woman there said you should have it Thursday or Friday. So that's a good thing. I'm told there's three kinds of strong. There's strong for somebody who is mentally challenged because they don't realize what they're up to, so they could do something crazy. Then there's angry strong, and there's weightlifter strong, and there's old man strong. Well, we got to go with a combination of three for that lift. I put it up there myself. That's a combination of old man strong, mentally challenged because I shouldn't have picked up something that heavy, and angry strong because I was sick of it being in the way over there. So I got that out of my way. Next time I have a fit of rage, I'll move that one, the 200S, up there on the shelf too. So getting these off the floor really helps. Just to give you guys an idea, by the way, you pull the wheels off. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, soon to be 6 up there on that shelf. I mean, that's a lot of bikes up on the shelf. And don't worry, I didn't build it strong enough. That's why it's beginning to bow. All right, got started with, putting this motor on here. And the pulley went on. So that's really positive. I cleaned the shaft up real well, so that's all nice. And I can have the motor forward and all that's good. Looks like the belts are going to be a tad tight. So the shaft height, I would say, is a little higher than that one. If you guys remember, that motor was sitting on spacers. Here I got it sitting right on the frame, and as a matter of fact, this plate here has bolts there. There's one up right under where the motor was that goes straight through to bolt the front end to the pipe, and I had to take the bolt out, and it looks like I'm going to have to go further, and I'm going to have to cut that plate. So there we are. Yeah, this one's fighting me a little bit. This is that 10-horse Briggs, the one I got. I did get it on there. The hood closes, but you guys could see I got to do a notch out for here, and also the exhaust system. See where it is. So that's going to have to be opened up right. One doesn't want to leave all that heat under the hood. But even with this, I'm a tad concerned. This engine is a bit tight under here, right? See how that's, you can see the edge of the bolt hole. Matter of fact, now you can see a little more of the bolt hole. Right, see that there? So that actually holds the pipe to the front end. And the holes don't quite match up. You can see this thing actually wants to be like about there. So the hole that's already in the pipe doesn't match to that, right? So I'm going to have to drill that. I'm going to have to notch that to get this in. Looks like I got enough space underneath the bell housing there. So there's some bolts. You can see the bolts here. There's some bolts so I can rotate that. Gas tank fits. Right. See, it comes right down by the gas tank. There's space. But I'm not quite sure I want to use this engine. So now I have to take a look and figure out what else I might do. And there's two other possibilities. One of them And back to that mentally challenged part. If I wasn't mentally challenged, I would have said to myself, hey stupid, why don't you just use the G10 that's rotting out in the shed or out in the hoop building, and that would have been a good idea. So here's the G10. This has a Briggs on it. So what I would do is drop the deck, right, mount the snowblower right to the front. See, they got this jacked up a little bit here too. This one only uses a single belt operation, right? I don't know, could you guys see it? Only a single belt, where the other guy uses a double belt. I would lift it, but you could see it's not going. So that's one possibility, to harvest this guy, and I gotta walk a distance to show you the other possibility, and I gotta pull the pulley off to make sure the other possibility is gonna work. So I'll show you the other one in a moment. Or lastly, I could kind of grind through the horde and see what other engines I have floating about, and figure out if I want to grab something else to put on there. I do not plan on, I'm not going to take the engine off of that, obviously, for two reasons. First of all, that's a nice intact unit, completely stock, and I just as soon leave it that way. And secondly, that's got one of those Tecumsehs that I'd rather not go through all that work and then find out the ignition system took a powder. So anyway, yeah, engines of the horde, right? So that's a 10 I'm trying to hack on here. I have a 9. This is the 13, right? And this guy on the bottom is a 9. That guy's a 9. So I could try to hack that thing on there too. That's a Briggs. Guy was going to put it on a mini bike or something. I hope it's not a generator motor, because I'm just making sure it turns. Generator motors are you need the weight of the armature to turn things. This motor just wouldn't fit. That's at like a 23, I think, 27 actually. And I don't know if that's an 8 or what. So, all right. I showed you what I got, and what I got is too tight a fit. I guess I could not be a cheap bastard and change the belts. It appears these drive belts are the troublesome ones, and they wouldn't be horrible to change. To change these two green guys, I actually have to take the clutch apart, and I'd rather not do that. So what I'm trying to do is, my goal is to try to leave this as stock as possible. That goes on without too much trouble. I'm trying to leave this as stock as possible, and get it working. I'd really like to fix this tractor. The G10, whatever I do with the G10, I do with the G10. But I'd really, I guess you try to figure out which way you're leaning, and my lean is to really try to get this guy running. Try to do just an engine transplant, not get all kinds of crazy and pull in other engines. if all I could put on there is an 8 horsepower, of course I don't see a tape anywhere close. I think that's a 36-inch deck. I don't think it's 42, right? If you figure 1 foot, 2 foot, yeah, I think this is a 36-inch deck. When I'm driving this thing around, I'm not going uphill or downhill, so virtually all 8 of the 8 horsepower would be driving the snowblower, and intermittent, especially if I had it down on creeper or whatever, I wouldn't be using hardly any horsepower to move it about. So I'm figuring the 8 horsepower should be more than enough to snowblow with. This is only a single stage. It's not a double stage. 38-inch. 38-inch. I knew it wasn't a 42. Alright folks, I'm going to let you go. Let me go fuss around with that motor downstairs, see what it looks like, see if it's going to go on easier. Let me fuss around with that guy a little bit too, see if that one's going to behave a little better. I don't mind welding a plate to that, or bolting a plate up, or doing something like that. I'm really not thrilled about taking those 2 bolts out of the steering and not being able to put them back in. That's got me a little concerned, especially with the weight of the snowblower hanging off that front end and all. Though this thing is lucky if it does a mile a year, right? It's only going to be going up and down the driveway with a snowblower on it, so I don't know. I'm poking around, scratching my head. We'll see. Folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. WTBM123, you need to get me your address. PM me your address so I can send you your prize, and you can buy Will some treats. Buy him some bacon. There's a dog that loves bacon. Alright folks, take care. Remember, head up, feet down, live, love, and have a great time. Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Bye now.